Daniel, welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Are we live now?
I love this
Thank
necklace, first of all, the croissant.
Petit croissant.
Tu aimes le France?
Oui.
Tu parles français? Do you like France?
Yeah, oui. Je peux parler. Je parle
un peu de français.
Mais seulement si tu parles comme je suis, comme j'ai 5 ans. Talk to me like a toddler and I can understand where we're going.
No, I understood.
Thank you.
I'll speak to you like a toddler in English.
Yeah, oh, please do.
So how do you feel about parties? Are you like a social... Because I don't... clear my throat, that was disgusting.
Keep that in.
Cut.
Keep that in.
I'm never going to get a boyfriend. If Felipe released an edit of all the times I've had to clear my throat on this podcast.
Revving that up, ready for the what's coming.
I don't know you very well. We've only gigged together. I think I've only met you once at that show. Do you remember we did a gig together? Have you forgotten?
No,
like that
we did.
Forgettable.
But we've actually met twice, thank you.
Oh, really?
We did a gig under an archway in a gay bar.
Oh my God, yes. In Clapham.
And then we did another
gig in Soho.
Yes. And then, we've met 3 times, Grace. Because then I walked past you and like a posse of people outside a restaurant in Angel on Upper Street.
Did we speak?
Yes, but you might have been wasted at
I
that
think
point.
I was wasted. That one you have to forgive me. I have no recollection of that.
And
I remember the 2 gigs.
Yeah, and you went, oh my God, we're seeing each other again. And then you made me get out my phone and you made me look you up and then you pressed follow on my phone.
Oh my God, I do remember that. We were outside Jack's bar when Jack had a bar. Yeah. Oh my God, I do remember that now.
So it's nice to see you for a 4th time.
Nice to meet you, Daniel. It's so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
But I don't know you socially, although you've seen me really fucked, because that was when my friend ran a bar in Angel.
Chic.
And we used to go there and just get unbelievably wasted. So it's really good that he stopped doing that because it's bad for my liver. Do you like parties?
No, but yes, it depends what sort of party. And I have, like, my friendship groups don't throw house parties anymore, which I think is age.
Yeah.
And also because everyone stopped living in like house share, like together,
where they have a massive house to have a house
so they
party.
have a lovely big house. So now everyone's got like much smaller little houses where you can't throw a good party. But I did used to love that, and I love a dinner party.
I love a dinner party.
Like obsessively love a dinner party.
Do you throw dinner parties?
Yes.
Oh my God, love. What's your what do you cook?
Oh, okay. It depends. I love to do a sort of quite grand old sort of French situation.
Ooh.
And like I don't know, sort of pastries and bits and bobs and like...
From scratch?
Yeah.
You make pastries? That's why he's got a croissant around his neck. He was like, ask me about the pastries. Ask me about the pastries.
I said, well, the moment we get on air, please ask me about the pastries.
You make pastries. That's really chic.
Thank you.
Do you know what? I'm so easily impressed by anyone who can cook anything bar like a boiled egg, because I just don't cook.
Oh my gosh. I think a pastry is a good thing to like wheel out.
So you start with a pastry.
Well, yeah, or some sort of like Wellington situation or the other thing I love to do is like Nigella at the end of every single show where she has her friends over and they all like lick her ass of being like, Nigella, we love you. And they all like gobble up like big sharing situations in the middle of the table. I love that. I love to make like a great big pasta and then like some salads and like maybe a homemade loaf of bread. And
do you then make them say...
I make them say,
Daniel,
Nigella, I love you.
Love you. Everybody say it now.
Everybody say it.
Write
1,
down,
2, 3.
Nigella, I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Like a big sharing.
Yeah. I love that.
How many people would you like have at a dinner? How many people would you say it's like a good amount for a dinner party?
The dream is 10.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. That's a lot of people.
Actually, the dream is like 16, but like what
in your house?
No, because I can't fit that in my house.
Fine.
But
okay.
around my table and then with like an extended section, I can roughly get 8 to 10.
Okay.
Which is enough for it to be like, ooh, there's a mix of people. Ooh, some of them don't know each other. I'm going to sit Claire next to Catherine, whatever. Yeah.
Do you, because what stresses me out about having 10 people in my house is then like having to clean up after them.
Yeah, that is a pain. I am very much like leave it till the next day. And then
right,
I sort of role play to myself that I'm a woman in the 60s. So
put
like,
on the radio.
Right, and I've got my a dressing gown on and I'm sort of like, even if I've not got a hangover, I'm pretending I have a hangover. A friend of mine got me a really retro shell purse. Like it's a shell. It's just a big shell with like a clasp on it, which I have just put a load of aspirin in. Because I want it. I like to pretend that I'm like having like one of Mommy's little helpers and like knocking it back. But I don't really do any drugs. But instead I'm like, oh, I'll have a little Nurofen.
Yeah, like in Desperate Housewives. Do you remember did you watch Desperate Housewives? Do you remember when Lynette got addicted to her kids? Was it Ritalin? Yeah. I remember thinking that was like my first experience of like watching a housewife like be addicted to like prescription drugs.
And how glamorous.
How chic.
And I think probably that show is what has made me have a love of dinner parties.
Yeah, and also, well, because you love to like your characters of like mums and like middle class mums.
Yeah.
Where did the inspiration like for that come from?
Oh, they're just like all around where I live and where I grew up, and also just like always find them the most fabulous ones in things like a Brie Vanderkamp or
Brie Vanderkamp. Yeah, God,
so good. Was recently watching Feud. Have you seen Feud?
I loved Feud,
Betty Midler
the
and
Truman Capote.
yeah,
no,
season
I
one.
loved that one.
But also that one.
Yeah.
Like all of that kind of thing. Love that. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they're so funny. And also, like, I'm kind of making fun of them, but I'm also like, oh, give me another, I don't know, give me 600 grand and an emotionally abusive husband and I would be one of them in a heartbeat. So happily I would leave everything behind and just be there
taking the Ritalin, having the aspirin, cleaning up. Do you watch Real Housewives?
I don't.
Okay, interesting.
But everyone does.
That surprised me.
It feels like something.
Do you know that Real Housewives, the idea was inspired by Desperate Housewives?
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you know that, Emily? Yeah.
But is it? It's just
like, everybody knows that.
It's like reality TV, but scripted kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's scripted.
It's not.
No, it's not like Made in Chelsea. No, it's unhinged. Like I actually can't watch it anymore because it makes my cortisol levels like rise so much. It really like it's stressful.
I always assume because I've seen all the clips and being like, you beast.
No, they're unhinged. Then they have these reunions at the end of every season where like they unleash everything from the season, and it's mad. Like people have to be like physically taken away from each other.
Oh.
Good.
Maybe I will watch it.
For I think it's just like, you know, middle-aged, middle-class women are deeply entertaining. Like my mum is entertaining. Is your mum like comedically inspirational?
She is. She's very funny. But I have a weird thing where like I'm the only one with like a vaguely kind of this accent. In my family. Everyone else is northern.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
how?
Both this is from the north.
Are your sibling? Have you got siblings?
Yeah, and I have a brother, but he has like a Portsmouth accent because we were raised in Hampshire. And then I think around like 6 years old, I just somehow acquired a completely different voice from everyone else, which is really weirdly common in like, there's a lot of like gay men, like Tom Allen.
Yeah.
Joe Lycett kind of.
Yeah, because Tom Allen grew up with Rob Beckett.
Yeah.
And they went to the same school. I know when I find that out, it always blows my mind.
Yeah, but I think I sort of attached to like the idea of Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
And was like, well, I shall move to London and come.
Whose accent like did you like? Would you say that you like took?
Anna Wintour? I don't know, actually.
Anna Wintour is so funny. I actually rewatched The Devil Wears Prada the other day.
It's so good.
It's so good, but the boyfriend is
the villain.
But
so hot.
He's so hot. But it triggered me quite a lot because I was like, oh, actually, lots of boyfriends that I've had have been like similar vibes of like, I can't believe you're working.
Oh my gosh. When she brings, at this point, I now know, like as an adult watching her friends throw the bag around and I'm like, I'm sorry, that's worth like $12,000.
I know.
And they're like, Andy brought home like, she's just given you so much free shit. And then her new boss, who she's told you is abusive, is calling her and you're like, taking her phone.
No, I know. You're
like,
so right.
Fuck you.
I know. And also, they're all acting like they don't know that it's Anna Wintour as well. Like, it's like everybody knows working for Anna Wintour is like, it's like that.
And then they're like, she's changed.
It's just, there's this scene where like she comes back and I think she'd like missed his birthday or something. She'd missed the boyfriend's birthday. She comes back and he's so rude to her. And it's like, oh, grow up. It's probably your like 33rd birthday. It's nothing. You went for dinner.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely deeply sorry. You know, I'm going through a crazy year. I was thinking about you every second. I've been calling you. I've got a cake. I've got a present. And he's like, my birthday?
I know. And then he's like, when she gets asked to go to Paris, he's like, wow, that is so mean to Emily. And it's like, oh, now you're sticking up for like my work friend who's also been abusing me.
And sadly, he is the model of everything I'm looking for and have ever been looking for.
So wait, you're dating at the moment. I'm also single, so we're both single.
Congrats to us.
Congrats. How have you been finding dating again?
Nightmarish. Like I recently got out of a long-term relationship.
How long was your relationship?
5.5 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah. And so it's very alarming to have gone from being like a 24-year-old, dare I say, twink, of being like young and everything going for me and like the whole world ahead, to now, and used to get so many messages and was like good at going on first dates and stuff, and now 30 and landing on like Hinge and Tinder. It is like hell on earth, hell on this God's
But I don't want to say it because I know you don't want me to say it, but like I do think...
Don't say it. Just don't say it. You don't have to say it. No one's making you say it.
I do think...
Don't say it.
I'm going to say it about myself. I do think when you hit 30, it becomes less desirable. Because I feel like when I was 25 and like I feel like I'm arguably more attractive now, more successful, more confident, have much more going for me.
Yeah.
The amount of men that used to slide into my DMs.
They don't want anything going for you. That's the
No, I know, that's the thing. They are the boyfriend from The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh.
No, but I do listen.
It's true though.
I do think it's true because
but then I'm opening my age range to like later 30s and like early 40s men. So like surely for them, are they also still looking for 24? I guess they are.
I think we need to ask them.
None of them are listening to this, Grace. Come off it.
Gay men are listening to this.
Well, that's true.
Straight men aren't.
Yeah, but
gay men.
Bottoms are listening to this and I don't want to know.
Have you been on like any good dates?
No, I've not been on one date.
Really?
I have been on dating apps, non-stop swiping. Oh my God, I'm paying so much money. Oh my God.
I know, they're really fucking milking us dry.
Like, that's another thing. When I was 24 on the dating apps, it was like, oh, here's how they were new. One, it was like, oh, here's how it works. You swipe right if you like them and left if you don't. And if they like you, here's the list of the ones that like you. And now it's like, oh, you want to see who's liked you?
£50.
That will be £50 a day.
And then when you've liked too many people
and
today.
I'm sorry,
£100.
That is £100.
If you want to like one more person, £100.
You want to like more than 3 people a day, that's £100. Also, you're paying the £50 a day. That's so good. Here's the list of creatures that have liked you. Here is the list of like things we found at the bottom of a well.
The substance. The substance.
It is. I was looking through and I was like, looking at everyone that's like me and was like, oh, have I like massively inflated how attractive I think I am? Because I don't listen. I'm not looking for like 10 out of 10s to be liking me, but I did think it'd be more than like once.
I think that's the thing. This is really a horrible thing to say. This is why I can't be on dating apps.
Right.
Because I'm just insulted.
Yeah, I'm so insulted.
I'm insulted. Like I can't believe you thought I was going to match you.
I was scrolling. I sent a screenshot to a friend of me, like scrolling through multiple pages of, this is a very niche reference, but you know, in the Pride and Prejudice that Colin Firth's in, you know, the little vicar man who's the cousin. It was just him over and over, like men who just have the hair here and like a hunch and are like messaging me being like, Lady Catherine de Bourgh is so excited to talk to you. Help me.
How can I help you?
By killing me.
The thing is, this is where it comes back to the theme of the podcast, go out.
Yeah, this is it.
Like I've met so many people like in the last year just out.
Do you go on dates with people that you've met in real life?
How
many relationships have you had that have come from like not dating apps in a percentage?
Well, like my one significant relationship was from a dating app.
Okay.
And then the one after that was also from a dating app. And then Instagram.
Oh, well, that's something.
Yeah,
that's
which
nice.
I also think is a dating app.
It is.
Yeah, in a way. Do people slide into your DMs?
No. Well, yeah, pretty much no, because the comedy that I'm putting out on there is not hot.
That's what also happened with me. I think I started putting out like much more like
Hot
I
comedy.
hate men, I hate men, I hate men.
Right.
No, like way less men slide into my DMs now because like everything I'm putting out in the world is like fuck men.
Yeah, and mine is all like, here I am imitating a 47-year-old woman. So like no man is looking at that and being like, hey now. I'm gonna need to start creating some characters that are better. I genuinely,
That's
like,
a good idea.
Yeah, I need to create some hot characters.
That's a good idea. And also I think just like post pictures of yourself. I think because you're just putting out your witch is brilliant and amazing and you're doing so well.
I need a carousel.
But I think you need to do a carousel from time to time because that's what people kind of like are like, oh, okay.
Yeah, reminder that I am fuckable.
Exactly. I'm not a middle-aged I'm not a middle-aged mom
in a
reading
chunky
bedtime
knit.
stories as a child.
I'm just going, darling, all the time.
Yeah, but I do also think, right, what is cool about getting older, dare I say it, is you weed out like the losers. So I think like for me, I was just actually talking to my therapist about it because I was saying that I've sort of I'm sort of getting to know a bit more like what I'm looking for in my next relationship, and that's from trial and error.
Yes.
And so I think you in your 20s you go through like, you know, failed relationships, you learn about like what you do and don't want in your next relationship. Then it might mean that you're going to be single for a period of time. Yeah. Because you're not going to meet someone that's like up to scratch straight away. It just does take ages.
Yeah, definitely. Like
Also, you need to heal.
Yeah, at 24, I was definitely like just desperate for a relationship.
Same.
And then was in one for a long time. And now I'm very much like, oh, you know, it was an amicable breakup. I love him, whatever. Like, we're good friends.
That's nice.
Yeah. However, I'm like, oh, I know very clearly what I can't deal with in a relationship now and what I need. And I think another good thing when you get into like away from your 20s and into your 30s is that you can start turning to things like witchcraft to try because oh my god, the dating apps are failing me so much that me and my friend were like doing like a spell around a candle last week of being like,
what was the spell?
Oh my god. Well, actually in some ways just quite good, of like you write down everything that you want out of a partner.
That's cool.
Which is just quite a good like
what did you write, may I ask?
I don't know why I became Kermit then. Rich. 98 heart defect. just anything like like
just anything. Yeah.
Things that little things and big things like, oh, I would love them to be a good driver.
That's like, I love my next boyfriend to have a driving license.
Sure.
Let's start there.
Let's begin at
to have
that.
a driving license.
And then like they have to like my dog has to like them.
Yes. That is really key.
Ideally like not too much shorter than me.
That's
whatever things
kind
like
of
that.
Same. Okay, so we're looking for the same thing.
We're looking for the same thing, and then you like just sort of write it down. And a lot of people just say write down everything you want and just fold it, put it away in a drawer.
And also, whenever like a relationship ends, I write down everything that like wasn't right about like all of the reasons why like that person wasn't right for me, because it's a good way to like get over someone. Yeah. You just look at that list over and over again. You think like, because there's a fact when you break up with people, I don't know if you do this, but sometimes I like, you know, build this fantasy about them, about what the relationship was like. Yeah. It was just, it wasn't like that, because you just like,
I'm terrible
everything's
for it.
A movie.
I'm really bad for it early in dates of like first, second date. And I'm like, well, this is how our life will go and this is who they are and this is how it will all
But that's
be.
Really normal.
I know, but
that
it's
is
not
really
good.
normal. It isn't, it is like, but it's normal, you know?
Yeah.
I think people are lying to say if you have a really good date with someone, people would be lying to think that they're not like fantasizing about going on holiday with that person.
Know, but then you could just set yourself up for such, because you build all of that around them. You're like, they're like this and we're going to do this and we'll fall in love in this way.
It's also like, if you have good sex with someone, it's really hard to not.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
And also, I will say another thing is, they're all in open relationships now.
I know.
On like the apps, like everybody's married. And it's like, just looking for something casual. It's like, well, I love you now because we just had great sex once.
This just happened to me. Like, I had amazing penetration with a man.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then he was like, oh, I'm poly, by the way. Like, I have like a partner. And I was like, I thought we were going to go away together.
Yeah.
Like, now this is ruined. Wait. I've just orgasmed and now you're telling me this. It was really disheartening.
Yeah. What about our holiday home that we're buying in Capri?
Now I can't like fantasize. But have you ever dated someone? Well, I guess you've literally just come out of a long relationship. Have you ever dated someone who is in an open relationship?
No, because they like
Have you ever been in
thing.
an open relationship?
No, I think I maybe could.
Yeah.
Like maybe. I don't know. It's not like my goal, but possibly. But like, I think when I think of open relationships, I just think of the Pedro Pascal in Game of Thrones. That's like my reference for that. Have you seen Game of Thrones? Okay, it's just.
I love Pedro Pascal.
It's just him being very sexy in an open relationship. But like,
there is something really hot about it being in an open relationship.
Yeah, it's not like what I'm out looking for there, but like it is frustrating. Because,
how many?
Oh my god! It just the amount of men in open relationships who are just looking for something casual that don't let you know until it's too late, and the amount of men who have on their thing, you know, the like relationship status.
Yeah.
The bit where it's like they'll be like 39 years old and they're like still figuring it out. No.
At 39.
Yeah, you have a beard.
Yeah.
Both your parents are dead. You have a beard.
You're still figuring it out.
You live on the family farm. You're like a CFO. Still figuring it out. Fuck you. Like, get a grip. It's them being like, I'm just like a little frat boy, and
but you're fucking about to turn 40.
70 years old.
Yeah, I know.
You are the Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Figure it out.
At least put looking for a short-term relationship.
No,
That's
I know.
fine.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If this was 140 years ago, you would be working towards death now.
No, I know.
What do you mean you're still figuring it out?
You would have had like 3 marriages, 5 kids.
Yeah, lupus twice.
No, I know. Tuberculosis.
It's just hard for, I think, tricky as a gay man, or just queer person generally, trying to meet someone that way, unless you're in a gay bar.
Yes.
But like, which isn't my thing particularly anyway.
Not?
Well, listen, love when someone has a birthday at Freedom and like it's fun and there's drag queens, whatever. But like, I don't like go to gay bars regularly or anything.
Okay.
And like, I'm not like a get really wasted and dance kind of person. But I'm a dinner party for 12 person.
In your house.
In my
home. Where you know
everyone
who's coming.
Where I know everybody that's coming. And like, I'd love to be invited to other people's dinner parties and then be like, you must talk to Trevor. Maybe we need to start going to like a supper club.
Yeah, well, I keep being told about like actual cool ones that like are actually not like cringe and you know,
like speed dating, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
Would you ever get with a comedian?
No. Well, yes, but just
have you ever gone?
No. Yes, I would. There are none that I fancy in the UK.
Yeah.
That's my stance on it. Like, there's not, mostly men that get into comedy who are gay are like this, or like Julian Clary, kind of Paul O'Grady, whatever. Like, there's a certain like type, and you don't generally get many mid-30s bears going into comedy. And so therefore I'm a bit like...
Okay, well, but there might be one day. If I would find dating a comedian like really stressful, I think.
I was talking to a guy on a dating app who was just like a normal guy, and we were chatting away, and then he was like, I said something about working late, and he was like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, well, I was at a gig because I do comedy. And he went, oh my God, that's great, because I'm doing open mics at the moment, and that's great that you do comedy because that means I can get more reps in. And I have never been so turned off in my entire life.
Did he like know who you are?
No, just deeply insulting.
Yeah.
Actually. Sorry, you're on the open mic.
You're
circuit,
on the open mic circuit, and you don't recognize me.
Fuck you. But like, but just like, and there's nothing, because listen, we all had to go and do like shitty little comedy nights before we got good. But there's something about the idea of having to go back to that, the partner, and watching them bomb on stage with their lame little joke that I just can't deal with.
I know. I do think about like my stand-up is very like about my personal life.
Yeah.
And it's maybe why men don't want to date me.
Maybe.
What would be your dream party?
Okay. I have 2, which I'm going to tell you.
Georgian mansion.
Oh, the ideal is yes. I'm there. I've cooked everything with the help of Emily, who is I want her to be like 80-year-old housekeeper.
Okay.
And we've made it all on time. It's all great. Everyone comes in, and walking through the door, they go, oh my God, you've lost weight. I invite them all in. Everyone goes, oh my God, is that diptyque? I go, that's just the natural smell of my home. I sit them all down at my great big beautiful wooden table in my dining room, and everyone's like, at least one marriage comes from how I've sat people so expertly around. Everyone eats the food. People are like, this is the best pasta I've ever had in my life. You're there going, pastry from scratch.
No, do you know how impressed I would be? I would even be so impressed if you've made pasta.
Yeah. Nigella's there.
Love.
But people look at me when they say, we love this Nigella.
Love.
Tilda Swinton's also there.
Tilda Swinton. Okay, because I was going to ask you, who else is there?
I think Nigella and Tilda Swinton, maybe Jennifer Saunders.
Love.
And then just like a collection of like fun, interesting people. Just like a fun crowd of friends. But I've like mixed everyone up and everyone's adult, so they're cool with that.
What happens after dinner?
Games.
Oh, I love games.
Yeah. Everyone's like a bit tipsy and maybe there's like a drinking game element to some sort of like really fun charades, but everyone's being a bit naughty with it.
I love
sort of old-fashioned games, and we play like Werewolf or Secret Hitler or something like that.
Oh, what's the other one? The one that was inspired by the traitors.
Right. Mafia.
Yeah, Mafia.
One of those. And everyone gets so into it.
So competitive.
People fall out and then they make up. It's really fun. Some people are so drunk they're like, can we stay over in one of your bedrooms? I'm like, of course you can.
Of course. I've already got like a towel on the bed.
Exactly.
And
it's all
all
set up for you.
Do the couple that you set up, like, would you let them like go and have sex in your house?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you're such a nice host.
Of course.
I don't know if I would. I'd be too jealous. I'd be like, I want to have sex.
No, because my husband is there.
Oh, your husband's there.
So we're still, and I'm so annoying. I'm constantly saying this. I'm like 47 years old and we're still at it like rabbits. I say that all the time. I'm constantly saying that. And yeah. And then everyone goes, and as the ones that are leave, they turn and they go, you really do look thin. And that's
your perfect
That's
evening.
my perfect dinner, is like games, drinks, gossip.
Weight loss.
I've made... Everyone goes, is it Ozempic? I go, no.
This episode of Late to the Party is sponsored by Next and Rocket St. George, who, if you've been listening to or watching the podcast, you'll know have completely revamped our set and my house for the Christmas period. To check out some of the gorgeous products that have blessed my space, go to the Late to the Party YouTube channel and watch my house tour at the start of our Christmas special with Joanne McNally. Their range is so fun. They have everything from leopard print sofas, bedding, pajamas, to amazing quality furniture, which in my case has helped me organise my whole life. They've also got an incredible range of gifts for Christmas presents, so for once in my life, I'm ahead of the game. So thanks again to Next and Rocket St. George for our incredible glow up. And to shop the range, head to the link in my bio or go to next.co.uk and search Rocket St. George. Enjoy this episode. Love you.
The other one.
Okay.
Big house party. It's Halloween.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or some fancy dress.
Like a fancy dress, yeah.
I've really gone for it.
Can you describe the house though? Is this still in this like Georgian mansion?
Actually, my friend used to have, again, back when I was like 24, it was a house share situation, but it was on like one road off Oxford Street.
What?
Yeah, insane. They got some like weird rent control, palatial, like 8-bed.
What?
Yeah, like the full townhouse.
Wow, I bet that was
Street.
Amazing for parties.
So insane. And he used to throw these amazing Halloween parties. And like for years I'd go there. And like 100, 200 people in there.
What
and like,
the hell?
Yeah, it was like packed because there were these giant rooms and like amazing house. So I'm picturing like something like that. And like the whole front would be covered in cobwebs and like spiders and stuff. And then, so I'm going into that. But crucially, I know 33% minimum of the people there. Every room I go into, there's multiple people who go, oh my God, and like really get me and really like what I say. And the people that I don't know are so on board with my vibe. Like I need to be, that when I meet new people.
I'm in my element.
Right.
Yeah. I'm the same.
I'm dazzling.
Yeah.
And I hate when you like get into a new group and there's no context that you're a comedian and that you're a funny and interesting person. Mm-hmm. So you start saying things and they don't respond as if you're funny because they haven't clocked that yet. Mm-hmm. So they're like, you say something and they go, I fucking
Anyway,
hell.
how have you been?
Yeah, fuck that stuff. Or like,
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, I need them to know that I'm funny.
Well, I just think you have to go up to them and say, hello, I'm a really successful and famous comedian.
Or
Do you know who I am?
Get my friends
just
to like...
drop it in really straight up.
Preemptively, they have to show everyone some videos.
Comedian, by the way. Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I need. That's why I need 33% at least.
To know who you are.
Right, so that they can go, Daniel's a comedian, you're going to like that.
Yeah. I love the idea of like going to somewhere where there is a good amount of people that I don't know because I can meet new people, but that I love the idea that like in every room I've got like a person.
Exactly.
I've always got like the person that I can go back to and be like, I just had the fucking weirdest conversation with that girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to meet new people. I want to have like fun conversations, be like, oh my God, I think I found my new best friend and all of that. But I need the backup of like multiple people because I am great socially as long as I have one anchor.
Yeah.
I'm not a social butterfly person who can network with nothing. I wish I was. I think it's very cool.
I as much as I like to think that I am, I don't think I am.
Do you think we can get there? I think it's something I've been working towards.
I think the thing is, right, say if you're going somewhere raw dogging, like you don't know a single person, you're going to an event. That is my biggest fear. What I think is good about becoming more successful and maybe like known is that everywhere I go, usually someone already knows who I am and therefore like will talk to me.
That is the one thing.
That is the one like benefit.
Yeah.
That like, because then I feel more confident to go somewhere where I don't know people.
Yeah.
Because I always know that there'll be one girl who's going to be like, I love your stand up.
Because then there's some context.
Yeah.
People going, oh, I know your vibe.
Yeah.
I know your thing. Yeah, that is nice. But like the nightmare is, I don't like, you know, we get invited to industry events and stuff and you go because you're like, oh, I guess that'll be good for networking. And then you're like, oh, it's like 40 execs from ITV and I don't know a single one of them. And then you just spend the whole time being like, oh, is there someone over there? Like standing in the toilet being like...
Are you the kind of person that like, because my social anxiety it kind of comes from being stuck, basically. Like I don't like being stuck in a place and not knowing how I'm going to leave. So like, that's why I always like having someone with me because then I can be like, shall we go? Or like, I don't know. I basically find it hard to say, I'm going to go now. Even if I'm not having a good time. Yeah.
I'm good at going.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good. But you have a dog, so that's a great excuse, number one.
It is a good excuse, but I like don't use it enough.
You must weaponize her more. Be like, oh, I've got to go. But also just...
My mum, just really quickly, my mum is so funny. She'll go somewhere, she's been there for 20 minutes and she goes... So sorry, I've just got to get back to the dog. It's like the dog's been alone for maximum 40 minutes. It took you 15 minutes to get her in the car. Just so sorry, I've got to get back to the dog.
She has to get back to her.
My mum is so funny. Like as I've gotten older, I've realised how much of an introvert she is.
That's great though.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, but that's the thing. And the other thing is, I think, go in loud and strong. I did this really, like literally this week. Went into a thing and just like hit like a fucking assassin, like 12 people that I knew needed to know I was there, had like a good conversation with each of them and then slithered out like a serpent.
And didn't say bye.
Didn't say bye.
That's so chic.
And then I think, because then I've spoken to some of them since and they were like, oh, it's so nice to see you. What time did you leave? And I'm like, I don't know, like not at the end, but like towards the end. They don't fucking know.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, I didn't see you. And I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I was so drunk. I think I was being quite loud.
Time travel. You're a time traveler.
Yeah.
I love that.
But I was at home in my bed.
Yeah, that's chic.
Yeah.
Because you get the reputation of having stayed somewhere late.
Tell people you've got another party to go to if you want to be like,
yeah, that's cool,
glamorous. Oh, I'm just popping by for a couple of hours. I've got another friend's thing. It's so annoying.
I think that's also a good thing to do. It's like sort of being like, by the way, before I go somewhere, I can't stay for very long.
Yeah.
I just have to warn you, I'm not going to stay for very long.
These are my first date tips. Number one,
always have a plan for later.
Always go in. Yeah, or just tell them like up front, oh, it can be anything. But like, oh, I've got like a meeting in the morning. Oh, I've got to do this like annoying Zoom call with like New York when I get so like I can only have one, because then if it's good you can always go fuck that, I'll just email them and tell them no. Whereas the amount of dates I've been on where I've been stuck for like 4 drinks with the most boring man alive.
Hi, wait, have you dated him as well?
Yes. And Lady Catherine de Bourgh is doing so well.
No, I was once on a date with a man who was telling me that my surname wasn't Scottish. And I was like, Campbell is like the second most popular name in Scotland.
Yeah.
He was like, it's just not a Scottish name. He was American. He was like, it's just not a Scottish name. I was like, and I was getting so irate in this bar, and I literally just met him. I was like, I can't explain to you, it's a Scottish name. And I was like having to show it to him on Google, and I was like, I have to leave, this man is awful.
Yeah.
So that was the shortest date I've ever been on. It was like 12 minutes
Well, good
long.
that you left.
No, I did leave. I was so angry.
Yeah.
Really angry.
The dog needs me.
Yeah, this was pre-Eddie. How do you find, like, is your dog okay with you, like, having sex?
He is fine as long as he's met the person.
Okay.
Like, if they come into the house, he's like, I need to, he's quite like a security dog.
Love.
And so he will be like, I need to vet this.
Do you think he has a good judge of character?
No, because any child that walks past us, he will want to lunge. And so I'm like...
That's because I think dogs find children confusing.
Yeah, because he's like, what is that?
They're like, what is this?
But
is
like,
it another dog? Or
exactly. Like, what is this little thing that you're walking along? But like, I can't believe that all of the children around where I live are evil. So I must assume that he is judging them poorly. But actually sometimes, yeah, like he has fended off some dodgy people. Like,
yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Eddie just loves fucking everyone. No, honestly.
Like humping legs and stuff?
Everyone, yeah. No, she just loves like everyone. Like,
doesn't love fucking everyone.
No,
but
she does.
Everyone,
she does hump. She is a humper.
Okay.
I've had to remove all of the like humpable things in this room, so she doesn't hump anymore. But she like everybody on the street, she makes them feel like, oh, she's here.
Is this her?
Is she here?
I just saw a little tail go past. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, baby. Baby. I was literally just talking about her. I'd love to like really hang out with some mums, like middle-aged mums, like in their 40s. Is 40s middle-aged?
I think technically, but it feels weird now because
we're so nearly there.
Everyone's moved. But, well, I wouldn't see it that way.
We are pushing 40, Daniel. I hate to break it to you.
But also, like, people who are 40 are so young looking now.
I know, it's so true.
It feels weird to call that middle-aged in the same way that it was maybe like 30 years ago.
I know, it's so true. Do you ever like hang out with like...
Yeah, definitely. Like that's very much my like audience is a mix of ages, I would say. Like I really get on with like a red wine drinking fun mum.
Yeah,
that's kind of my vibe. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
do you like to drink?
Yeah, but I don't a lot really. Like I love nothing more than like a fad. Like I mean I came in here being like I'm off caffeine, but like I love like a skincare fad or like a supplement or a sea moss or whatever it is. Like that's the thing I'm normally on.
Have you done the salmon sperm thing?
I want to. Have you?
No, I really want to do it.
I want to.
No, I've definitely not done it. I really want to do it.
Polynucleotides.
Have you heard of a vampire facial?
Yeah, where they take your own blood, spin it.
So I was talking to this guy in Selfridges the other day. I was saying my skin's been really bad, and he was like, when I had acne, the only thing that got rid of it was a vampire facial. Oh. They take your blood and then they inject your blood into it regenerates.
They like take your blood and then they take, I think, like the plasma and some sort of good cells out of it.
And then they clone you.
And they clone you and they kill the real you and they put that younger, more beautiful clone back in.
It's the substance.
Yeah, I haven't done it, but I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
And I like...
Your skin is amazing though.
Thank you for that. I've spent so much money.
Well, it works.
On like...
That's the thing, it does work.
Illegally importing creams from Bangladesh.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like stuff you definitely could get here, but only on prescription. Mm-hmm. But like retinols and like...
Oh, really?
I just really annoyingly just tried out a vitamin C like oil serum thing, which is like £170 for a bottle this big, and really annoyingly it's really good and it works, because a lot of that stuff doesn't work.
What does it do?
It just like makes you kind of glow a bit and like evens out your skin tone and does all sorts of stuff.
But it's so expensive.
Yeah, but I think it lasts a long time.
Right, okay.
But also most of those things don't work and don't do anything. But
this does. What do you want to...
Really frustrating to be like...
Say the brand. As you know, don't give them free publicity. Ask them for free to give you some.
Yeah, SkinCeuticals should send us some stuff.
SkinCeuticals is so expensive.
Because they're Cyrillic FE.
My mum
Cyrillic.
loves SkinCeuticals.
And it's good. Like it's good. But
it's
like,
really expensive though.
But then I think like La Mer, c'est pas bien.
Do you think?
I think it's
We're going to shit on La Mer.
No, I think it's... Listen, if they want to send me some stuff to test... No, I don't
La
think
Mer is so expensive.
It is so expensive.
It's unbelievably expensive.
And the skincare like gurus of the internet, say that the ingredients on it are worth like a 20, like you can get dupes for like 20 quid.
Wow.
Because the stuff in there is good, but
it's
they're like
just not that expensive.
a lot of them like it's not much better than Nivea.
That's why all celebrities have skincare brands, because the way you can upmarket skincare is unbelievable. It's like
branding.
the same, they're just putting the same stuff over and over again and then putting their names on it and then making so much money from them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I listened to this podcast, you talking about the needles in the skin. Acupuncture.
Oh my God, yeah.
Who is your guy?
He's amazing. He has changed my life. Before the Apollo, when I did the Apollo a couple of weeks ago, I was really nervous about it. I went to see him. He did some needles on my nervous system and I was so calm.
That's what I really want. Like I'm so into like the idea of it. And I want to try it.
Truly, like, I've been doing acupuncture since I was like 14, because I used to have really bad sinus problems when I was younger, which is, you know, as you can tell.
Do the needles go into your face?
He would do them in my nose.
Wow.
And like around there, completely got rid of my sinus problems.
And does it hurt? Like a little pinch?
Like when it goes in, it hurts. And then like the only thing that I find is like if you move much, like the other day I went and I had like needles like all over my back, and then I was like quite uncomfortable, so I moved, and then I felt like that it maybe hit a nerve, and then he'd left the room and I was like shouting his name. I was like, can you come back? Can you come back? But like that, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it should be prescribed on the NHS over like so many other things.
Because I used to be in two minds about being like, oh, is it like a kind of, you know, pseudoscience, whatever. My aunt, who is like a northern farmer on the moors of Yorkshire and is like a very Christian woman and like not at all into like anything that I'm into or like fads or anything like that, had like back problems and went and got acupuncture done. And she was like, well, you see, Dan, what it does is it moves the chi through the pathways in your body. And was like telling me all about like the energy in her body. And she was like, literally was like, it's changed my life. She was like, it's changed my life. I feel amazing.
Truly, it's life-changing, acupuncture.
And she is like the least likely to be kind of influenced by...
Yeah.
So it's made
and it's like, I was dating a guy who was like honestly a villain. And I remember he asked me for my acupuncturist's details. And I remember at the time consciously thinking, and he kept asking me. No. And I was like, you don't deserve
No, don't give him your wizard.
Yeah. Are you spiritual?
Well, I'm doing witchcraft spells to conjure in love, so maybe.
Well, also because like you're sort of like, you have a sort of like, energy.
I think I'm like open to a bit of whatever. Like I love a spiritual thing. I love like I'm not religious, but like I love a manifestation, universal energy, all that shit. Yeah, sure.
But also like energy, I guess. Yeah, it's the thing.
Well, I found this is like when people do like witchcraft and anything. When people do like spells, a lot of the time it is just like, what is your intention? And then people talk about manifestation and it's like, what is your intention? And people talk about prayer and it's like just asking for an intention. Like it's all
the same thing.
And then psychologists are like, oh, just express gratitude. And like business coaches are like, oh, just like really clearly picture what you want. It's all the same thing.
It is the same thing.
Like, whatever it is, clearly doing that is good.
And also like weirdly, sometimes I say to my therapist, like, are you religious? Because she always comes back to like this sort of like higher thing. She always says like, there's your work, their work, and God's work, right? But not in a religious way. In like, there are things you can control, there are things the other person can control, and then there are things that neither of you can control, basically, which is like this other thing, which we are not in control of. Like, we can't control the world and like what happens around us. And I do think like that, if you take away like the religious aspect of it, that's a really cool way to think about things.
Yeah, just like what
can you control? What can't you control? There are things you just do not have control over.
Yeah.
Do you ever do like psychedelic drugs?
No, I've only ever done, I've tried weed once, it did nothing. That's all that's all I've done. But I think, so my therapist just gave me
mushrooms.
No, well, she was like, you should do them.
Oh, did she say that?
Yeah, she was like, do them. She was like, they were on like the front cover of like Psychiatrist Weekly, like one of the big ones. And But she also gave me the details of a ayahuasca retreat in South America, where she was like, some of her colleagues are like working with shamans like together doing these things. She was like,
would you ever do ayahuasca?
Yes. She was like, I think it could be really good for you.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Have you like, Chelsea Handler once made a documentary where she did ayahuasca like on camera, and you should watch it.
Oh, I don't want to know.
Okay,
I've seen
watch
like
it then.
Simon Amstell's shows and stuff like that.
But I want to do ayahuasca.
I want to do it. I think like I've been doing therapy for like a few years, and I feel like I'm like coming to the end of my therapy journey. Like I feel quite like healed and in a good place, and I'd love to. I'm not really interested in like party drugs, but I am really interested in the ones that like grow out of the ground and are like, and also mushrooms and ayahuasca.
Yeah, because you can kind of work through shit. Like I've definitely like worked through some stuff on magic mushrooms.
I think
while in a rave.
Yeah. My therapist on my last session when I came on, literally this week, went, "Oh, you've lost weight," and I was like, this is what I'm fucking paying you for.
Okay, so we built your dream party.
Yes.
How was doing your show in America as well? Did you do it? Did I make that
up? Yeah, I did it in New York. I loved it.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, really loved it.
Yeah.
Like, really fun people. Kind of mainly similar. There was like going through my set, and I guess you'll have to do this when you take yours, is like you do find little bits where you're like, oh, I had no idea that was regional.
Yeah.
That is like...
I had that in Europe, like when I was doing the show in Amsterdam. I have this joke where I say Tommy Shelby, like from Peaky Blinders, and I was about to do it, and then I really quickly changed it to Harry Styles, because I was like, I just don't know if enough people here are gonna have watched Peaky Blinders.
But some of it's like, I had the word vicar in my set, and like I had to change it to like pastor.
Yeah, there's an amazing bit in Smartless, which is my favourite podcast, where Ricky Gervais goes on, and Ricky Gervais goes, oh, I live next to a vicar. And like Sean Hayes is like, what's a vicar? And then he's like, a vicar. And then they're all like, what's a vicar? And Jason Bateman's like, what is that? I've never heard of it. And then Ricky Gervais is like, are we speaking the same language? Yeah, I do think that like that's the thing with... you don't realise in stand-up how much stuff is like inherently British.
Yeah, just little phrases and things.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. But yeah, we finished the tour, and now I'm doing like a little tour of my podcast. We're doing like some dates in Edinburgh and Glasgow, and then like a Bloomsbury Theatre one in London, which will be fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, so look out for that.
Look out for that, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna, I think, do another tour in 2026 of like a new stand-up show, which I'm now writing.
How's that?
Well, I thought
Good time to be single.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, what the hell am I going to talk about? And then had this like massive breakup.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, great. There's Edinburgh 2026.
Yeah. Isn't that so crazy?
Yeah. There's a little bit of your brain.
It's a crazy concept. Like something happens, then I'm like,
yeah,
it's really good because my life was getting boring.
Yeah. Mid car crash being like, well, at least
well, at least I'll get a bit out of this. Yeah.
Yes. So that's kind of where I am right now. And then like next year's quite chill for the first time in like a long time, which is quite nice. Like I'm writing some stuff and working on like little bits, but it'll be all like kind of from London, which is quite nice. Is
there a historical figure like dead who you would love to have at your dinner party?
Like immediately I'm like Oscar Wilde, but actually I think I would hate that, because he would be like coming up with all these like little catty quips, and everyone would be like, Oscar, you're the center, and I'd be like, fuck you. Like go away. Like, this is my party. This is my dinner party. I'm going to go Anne Boleyn.
Okay.
I bet she would have the cuntiest stories and like the most horrible gossip to share. And I just think
I've got so many questions for her.
Yeah, me too. Right. And I think we would so quickly team up. And like, I just feel about her that she would be able to get up to speed with like the modern gossip as well. And like, we'd be like bitching about someone else at the table who's like just gone to the toilet, and she'd be like, forsooth, what is cocaine? And then we'd be like, it's a drug that you take like this. And she'd be like, then yes, she is very that.
What do you think would be her drink?
I would give her a Negroni and blow her fucking mind.
No, I was so thinking that she was gonna like love like a really rough red wine.
Oh yeah, well that's what she likes.
Yeah, that's what she likes.
She'd drink it from like thimble size thing.
Yeah, she's a heavy drinker. Yeah, she loves it.
But I would give her like a smoked orange Negroni, and she would just be like, fucked.
I'm obsessed with you. what is your best way to leave a party?
Yeah, well, to sort of slip out like an assassin in the night.
And then say, I was there till the end.
I was there till quite late. What I want them to think is they weren't in the good bit of the party.
I love that.
Well, no, because I was chatting with having like an amazing time. Like you saw the thing with the snake. You didn't. I don't know what you were doing.
You didn't see the magician.
And like genuinely it's like 9:30 p.m. and I am in my Olivia von Haller pajamas at home, just like slipping into a tart cherry juice
Melatonin's
induced sleep.
Been taken. Yeah. Well, I'm going to come on your podcast in January.
Yes.
Yeah, that is going to happen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'll ask you exactly the same questions.
Thank you.
We'll have the same conversation.
Well, I'll prepare because that answer was unbelievable. Your dream party. Okay, Eddie.
Oh, hi, Eddie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.